be honest, 요준이 생각에만 나 It's dishonest, say that I've been feeling alive 난 아니야, staying up and out of the chance 네가 필요 없다고 그 잔인한 거짓말 Now I'm sprung, running through my head 네 옆에 말해줘 시간 없다고 헐때가 가라고 You ain't even gotta tell me twice So you fancy, funny how you in my life 그래 이젠 궁금하지 않아 우리 미래 Think about her strip down on the east side Driving on the wrong side down on the freeway Frequent trips and frequently 기대 우리 컸던 점점 더 힘이 들던 Think about our problems all 점점 커져 친구 사이로 I know I told you we could be there 1, 2 I ain't never felt it that you left like that 있으면 우리 싸울 텐데 Staying up at night is a 보이기에 I don't really miss you Talking like we're friends so 지나쳐 Like a game
I started all of my saddlebars. I'm making sure they're coming back up.
시간 지나도 바뀌는 건 없고 All the time wondering if what you said is even true 학교 중요하다고 이해한다고 I think I should have said no Said I understood 미안하지만 친구 사이로 사이좋게 하자고 맘만 좋을 거라고 Sorry if I let you on yeah. Switch up I see you rocking new hair and let's make up 보기 좋으지 머릿속에 take up 생각만 해도 could break up 생각만 해도 I wake up 후회하진 않아 가끔씩 생각이 나 How you just cruising on by I'm busy doing a lot Getting you out of my mind Getting you out of my mind that you left like that
Center's back up at least.
Staying up at night is a 보이기에 I don't really miss you Talking like we're friends so 지나쳤게 Like a game But you not even play 연락하지 마
Lost Island.
I don't really need you All I need is you Yeah All I need is you All I need is you Yeah like all I need is you Baby we can rendezvous Baby all I need is you Like all I need is you Baby all I need is you Yeah yeah yeah
Come on, baby.
you need a break. It's all about you. No matter what the others say. But now I'm done talking, the lights on me. I tell you, I guarantee these nights about to take a turn for the better. Now the rain is pouring and all I see is lightning around my feet. Now nothing can bring me down. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. It ain't about money. It ain't about the coolest job. It's about having fun and love the ones that makes you shine. It's all about you. No matter what the others say. But now I'm done talking, the lights on me. I tell you, I guarantee these nights about to take a turn for the better. Now the rain is pouring and all I see is lightning around my feet. Now nothing can bring me down. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. I'm done talking, the lights on me. I tell you, I guarantee these nights about to take a turn for the better. Now the rain is pouring and all I see is lightning around my feet. Now nothing can bring me down. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance. I just wanna dance till my heart goes all like that. I just wanna dance.
Yeah, stepping in the spot like she own it. Looking like the world is your runway. She can set it off like a gunplay. Oh my, yeah. Talk of the city with that body. Always getting praised like it's Sunday. She said, baby, what you gonna do about it? Loving your vibe, girl. That energy got me going. Yeah. That thing's so vibrant. I wanna know if you can give me the keys to your heart, baby. All I need is you. All I need is you. Ewe muleji, you right next to me. Moji mule na vanemia yila, vanemia yila. Ewe muleji, mami venaki. Moji mule na vanemia yila, vanemia yila. She says she need me like heartbeat. Drive me the bed like a RV. Hugging the curves on that body. She bring the heat like wasabi. Promise not to test your heart. Never. We just can't be kept apart. Yeah, yeah. Baby, you the best by far. Always go the extra mile. Yeah, yeah. All I need is you. All I need is you. Ewe muleji, you right next to me. Moji mule na vanemia yila, vanemia yila. Ewe muleji, mami venaki. Moji mule na vanemia yila, vanemia yila.
Can you hear me now? Woot! Bro, what I was saying is yesterday I was like trying to find you. Cause I was in like full out, like autistic burnout. Like, it was rough. Yeah. I'm just sitting here waiting for my friend to write me back. I'm just staring at the screen. Yeah, man, like living with like having two non-divergent. Both my wives are like normal. But they have like anxiety and ADHD, and it's like really rough sometimes, like dealing with all of that like illogical insecurities that like a non or that like a divergent brain doesn't have, like it's just not logical. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm able to like avoid a lot of like very illogical insecurities about myself just because of the way that I can process things in my UI. I did have a good thing happen though. I had so I was like feeling like it was really bad, so I ended up going to the emergency room just so I could like make sure I was okay, you know, because I don't know if you're the same way, but like I like know blood pressure levels and like I just know, and like I was really off, and so I went and while I was there they have like a department for like that studies like spectrum and shit like that, and they have like quite a few. I didn't really know this before I went there. I just went to like the closest fucking place, and I was just like, I'm autistic and I'm I'm very far into autistic burnout right now, and my blood pressure is insanely high, and I am here because this is where my brain told me to go. Yeah. You still there? Which I'm not talking to myself and telling this story, so I have to tell you later. Because I wanted to talk to you about it. Okay, sweet. So I was there, and the doctor and one of their specialists from their behavioral health department came down, and the specialist that came down, he specializes in spectrum cases and stuff like that, and I started talking to him, and he was like asking me how I feel and stuff like that, and asking me about, you know, how my shit works. And I was telling him like the whole story of like my life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness and all this shit. And I started talking to him about my UI, and I've like talked to like a lot of like different like therapists in behavioral health or whatever, but like when I explain like how it works and how it manifests within my brain, like he was like the first one to like ever ask me about it. Like you know how it is when you are getting flashes, so I'm just getting flashes right now. I'm trying not to cry on them. So I was explaining, you know, as I was a kid, you know, I was trying to figure out a way to be able to control this, and I liked Iron Man, and I basically like built a Jarvis in my head, right? And he was like, well, that's interesting. And he was just like, you know, like, wanted me to tell him like how it works and da-da-da-da. And I started explaining like how it works and how it manifests and how I interact with it. And he was like looking like really interested, you know, like he was listening, you know. And then he picked up a pencil, bro, and he's like, does it track in real time? Does it like track like this? And I was like, yes. And like, I don't know, but when you did that, like, I can't explain how it felt having someone like him, like, I don't know if like, validate is the right word, but treat it like it's there, you know? And when I was explaining it and going through it and just interacting it, and you know, he hadn't really said much, and then at the end I was like, or at least I guess that's how my imagination like makes shit up, right? And he was just like, imagination has nothing to do with it. Like, what you're seeing is real. And I was like, what? And he was like, it's real. And like, I don't know why. But like, every time that I say it's real, like, I get so happy. Like, I think, you know, when I was younger and I tried to like talk to my family and stuff like that about what I was experiencing, you know, they didn't, you know, understand like the level. They didn't really understand like what I was experiencing, so they treated it like it didn't exist and that I was like crazy or something, that like I was seeing things. I don't know like what they were trying to like do there, but I don't know, like, what do you think about that? Like, the last 24 hours. So, I don't know, like 6 months ago or something like that, I did like microdosed LSD. And like, ever since then, like, my UI, like, it went to like HD. I don't know, it like makes you feel so like weird and insecure, but it's like it's evolving, you know? And like, since I've been like being more open and communicating with other people who are on the spectrum more often, I'm getting more comfortable with it, I guess. And I'm like, I don't know. And just when he talked to me and he told me that shit, bro, like, it was like the first time in my life that like I didn't feel like I was crazy. And he was talking about he was like asking me questions, and he had asked me that when I originally got diagnosed, when I was on active, what my full diagnosis was. And he had asked if I was diagnosed Asperger's, and I was like, no. That got brought up like much later, after I saw another professional, but by that time, like, Asperger's and high functioning were like brought together. Well, actually, Asperger's and autism were kind of brought together. But he was, so basically he was like explaining to me, and like I've heard this a million times, but just for some reason, like after we started talking, I started, and he said it was real, and he started talking about like his other Asperger / HighTistic patients and stuff like that, and he started explaining how they all have some form of UI. Like he said, I'm got one of the most interesting like manifestations, but when he was explaining these very different, all these different variations, like it just felt like I wasn't the only one. I wasn't like a weird mutant freak, you know? Like I wasn't alone. I forgot to ask, when did you get diagnosed? Like how old were you? How long ago was it? My autism hates how long it takes for chat replies to come through. That's right, yeah, we're the same. So, when I got diagnosed, like, I don't know if I've like really talked to you about this, like, so I was like severely sexually abused. So I had a lot of reservations about being touched. I thought the reasons I didn't like being touched and I didn't like people being near me was, you know, because I was raped in the fucking asshole as a kid. And then I got married, and I kept fucking up. Like, I kept pissing my wife off, and I'm like, I'm not trying to like make her mad, right? Like, I'm always making this bitch mad, and I don't understand why I'm making her mad, you know? So I ended up getting testicular cysts. It ended up being nothing, like just little cysts from whatever, you know. And so I went to this doctor that was on post, and I was explaining everything and and he recommended me go see this old buddy of his that was an old group doctor, group of special forces. He was an old group doctor, and he was, you know, he did therapy and he was a psychiatrist at the time and all that shit, right? So I went in there and I was talking to him, and I'm talking about like my cyst and everything like that, and then a few weeks later, I came back again and I was talking about everything. And then I don't know, a little while late, you know, a couple days to a few weeks later, I was having, like, I was being I just felt really defeated because I kept pissing off my wife, right? And the only person that I'd really ever talked to about anything really was this dude, right? So I went to him and I started talking to him about like what was going on and like my confusion, and like I was like, I just don't understand. I was like, I'm trying so hard, you know, to do the right thing, but I'm always wrong, you know, I'm always doing it wrong somehow, or I don't understand when I'm supposed to do it, or how I'm supposed to do it, or how long I'm supposed to do it, you know? And he was like, has anyone ever talked to you about being autistic? And like, as soon as he said the word, like a light like dinged in my head, and it was like I knew it was right. It just clicked. It was like really scary. The word was really, 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 really scary, especially based upon like the limited knowledge that I had on the subject, you know, prior to that exact fucking moment, you know, and all I had known was the more extreme cases. Like, I didn't really know anything about high functioning, you know, like, I didn't even know there was high functioning. So my first reaction was like, autistic? Dude, that might be it, but wait, I'm not like those people on TV, you know, like my UI started referencing, you know how it is, it go and chart, you know, and compare and analyzing, and I was like, but I'm not like anything like that. Like, I function differently, or I function better, right? And that's when he started, you know, and I asked the questions, something similar to that, you know, and that's when he started explaining like high functioning, autistic, and stuff like that. And the more he just talked about it, like, the more it's just like for the first time in my life, I understood myself, you know, like, I understood, like, it made sense. There was something there that I didn't know how to explain, and it was explained, you know? Like, how was your experience? I'm like staring at the screen. yeah, that was pretty much the thing. When she was like, my wife was the first like relationship that I had where, you know, I was sleeping in bed with her like every night, you know. And all my previous relationships, you know, it wasn't 24/7 living, you know, like I had a break, you know, and if they were, you know, crashing over at my house, I could always just go out and play on the computer or something, you know. So yeah, I was actually just talking to my wife about that via like, literally I just like was talking to her about that, and it's sitting in her text messages right now. Yeah. Like trying to explain that, like, number one, like my family wasn't very loving and caring and things like that, and so I never really saw those examples, you know. And I hear what I'm being told, you know, and I'm told that that this person needs this or this person needs that, but I don't understand what this is, you know. Like my wife, when we first got together, I was in the military, so I was always in uniform, so I could like avoid PDA and shit like that. But then I got out and I was in college, and I tried, you know, and I was talking to her and I was trying to explain to her like what it was like for me and stuff like that. And there like came a point where she got really overwhelmed and like told me that like she doesn't feel like I'm her wife, or she's my wife, and stuff like that, because I won't like hold her hand, or I wouldn't like try to hold her hand or like try to put my arm around her or anything like that. And that it really sucked because like I didn't want her to feel that way, you know what I'm saying? But like I was trying to explain to her that I don't know what to do and like how to do it, and like I would hear her and I would try to do what I heard she wanted me to do, and then at some point she would get mad and say that I never do this or I never do that, and you know, my brain was like, well, I must not be doing that right, because if I was doing it right, then she would remember it, you know? So then, like, here I am always trying and always failing, and I'm trying to explain I don't understand why I'm failing. Could you, like, please just tell me what to do, you know? Like, tell me, show me, you know, like, show me what you need from me so that I can see it, I can feel it, you know? Like, just yelling words at me, like, I don't understand that. Like, I'm distracted by your tone, you know, all of these things, you know, when you come at me with a controversial like tone, all of these things that have nothing to do with what you want to say are also getting brought into the mix, you know, because my fucking brain literally analyzes like your tone, you know, and it processes it against like every other, you know, situation it's ever heard on TV, you know, in life and everything like that, you know. And if that isn't needed and you want me to hear something, you know, and you want me to focus on something, then get the distraction out of the way. Like, just talk to me in a way that I can understand. And if you need something like physical, you know, like outside of sex, like sex is easy. I say this all the time. Like, sex is really, really easy to know if you're doing a good job or not. Like, it's instantaneous, you know? You can see that they're happy and they're enjoying it, you know? But, like, intimate touch outside of sex is hard. Yes, that's a really, really good analysis. So, when I first found out, right, and I was like trying to like tell my wife like what the doctor had said, you know, and she was really anxious, and when I'm trying to explain how my brain works, like, she didn't really understand or hear, and it like frustrated her, and it made her more anxious or whatever it was, right? Sorry, I just got a message on another thing. My message on the other thing just totally threw off my brain. My UI is going crazy. Yeah, it's rough, because like I want to be able to make her feel comfortable, you know, but like if I can't, like, if she doesn't, if she has to show me, you know, and that makes me feel like such a child, but like I just need to be able to see what is needed of me, you know? Yeah, like, I don't really process in words, you know? Like, my world doesn't process in words, you know? And like, it's like also kind of rough with divergent, anxiety-filled brains, because like, for me, I need rules and structure, and anything as long as things happen within those rules and structure, I understand my life. Everything is okay, and I'm good, and like I've come to learn more recently that like it's not so like black and white with a non-divergent brain, like you can have rules and boundaries and communicate about them all, but that doesn't mean that anxiety or this or that won't change the way the rules are viewed, Exactly, bro. Exactly. Like, it's for me to take something from a book, like I have to really, really concentrate. I have to take the words and then I have to change them into a visual representation of something and throw it up in my UI, and see where it lands. Do you, like, when you start to get, oh, I call it the flutters, like when I'm having too much come in, you know, like my wife is pissed off and she's yelling at me or something and it makes no sense what she's saying. I call it the flutters, where like it literally is like my brain is literally going like this. It just and it, I kind of like break and like pass out or something. And like sometimes, like, because I'm like trying to fight it, I guess I kind of like have like seizure type things, you know? Staring. Answer, motherfucker! Do you have seizures? Like me? Does your shit flutter? Do you have the stutter flutters? Yeah. I'm not the only one. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your answer. I can't remember, do you have a wife or kids or anything like that? Weird bing sounds like somebody followed, but there's nothing on there. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know, like, sometimes, I don't know, maybe it would have been better if, for everybody, if I wasn't, if I hadn't done that. Problem is like, I love my family so much, but rough, I guess. I guess it's rough being married to a human lie detector. You know? yeah, like, I know I'm a great dad, but there's more to being a great dad than just being a great father. Like, part of being a great dad is also being a great husband to their mama, and that is harder than it seems. Yeah, the loud noises are rough. I think I need more coffee. Be right back.
One time out of 10, 4 times on the stage lines. We fly till the end. My hands on your waistline. Sky high, feel the wind. 5 times want to be mine. This love thing can take time. Yeah, and no matter how long it takes, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be right here by your side forever. And no matter the ups and downs, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be right here by your side forever. Yeah. Your beauty make 'em bow down. I need that body right now. Yeah. The love will never die down. Together we can fly now. So, baby, don't you ever be afraid of falling in love with me. Let me be your parachute. Parachute. Let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. You and I. Yeah. Hey, let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. You and I, you and I. And no matter how long it takes, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be right here by your side. You know this.
a dab real quick. Sweet. Okay. Back to work. Ah, yeah. That's valid though. Like, number one, the good thing about like older women is they already have like some type of sexual experience. So the majority of them know what they like. You know, the majority of them are more confident in being able, because they know what they like and they've had more experience. They're more confident in communicating what they need you to do to them. And it's like so much easier, you know? Like, if you show me what you need, like, bitch, I can adjust fire like no other man you will ever be with, you know? You show me the combination, you know, and like, I can keep hitting that combination and varying the routine, you know, pretty much endlessly amount of time. Like, you just need to show me, you know, and then I will start to take in the data, and as I'm taking in the data, I'll be able to process this situation and future situations even better and make you feel better. I mean, that's a good age, because honestly, like, we don't even, like, humans don't even, like, learn to talk, you know, until they're, you know, 18 and 20. You barely just learn to talk. So, having somebody, you know, above 40, you know, you're not even a grown-up until you're 30, you know? Ah ha ha. Well, I mean, she's probably hungry for some Coca-Cola if she's been in a nursing home. I'm just saying, them nursing home women are freaks. When I was like 16, I worked in an old person's retirement home type thingamajigger. And them old people freaks. Yeah, when I was like in high school, I used to think that I wanted, so I used to think I wanted to be like a pediatric nurse or something like that, like, and then I worked in, your senior year of high school, you get to do like various internships and stuff, and sorry, my ear really itches, so I have to scratch it, and I might as well do this other one too. So I worked in the local ER and the NICU, and like, it was a lot. Like, it was so much because, the people that are in that that are in there, they're all in a very heightened state of like worry, like. There. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, you can see it. It's actually a cliff flat, Aaron. So under here, this is a cliff flat build. I'm turning it into an alpha base. But yeah, so it's a cliff flat that is potted in by tech pods. So basically, to be able to get to your cliff flat, you have to go through like 500 tech pods. So here's the top of it. So this is just a shandy. This is a chandelier for the entrance. Yeah. So it's a chandelier for the entrance. Up here, that's gonna go away. That's just for measuring the water height. So up here, let me slow down. You see, and then and that comes out to here, and down here, and then here. So all of my things that stick out like that will be done like this. Whoop! In here, all trapped up, vaulted boopers. And then in here, so my inner core that goes up, right? So their hatch frames are gonna go all the way to the top like normal. And then if you see right here, the inner core is also protected by a twisting level of the pods. So if I do that, I shoot up my core. So this is just like a representation. So my daughter, she played on Unofficial for a long time, and I played on Official. And my daughter was always like having issues with like tribe mates and stuff like that. You know, she's like akin to like 13-year-old girl. And you know, she played with 10 to 13-year-old boys, you know, and they're always being 10 to 13-year-old boys. So she wanted to be able to have her own base, right? So that would be hers, and she could, you know, defend it by herself. So I designed a version like this, right? It's just a little thinner that is made to go, and I put it over, the very first one I built, I put over here, right? So I lifted it up off the ground, right? So the base of it was probably about, where's the top of the crystal? It was at the top of the crystal, right? So they couldn't really soak from the bottom or anything like that, you know? And then the top of it was far enough from the top that you couldn't, you know, do anything from the top. So she had this circular base that was built just like that, and I don't know, it stood for over a year, and the core never got popped. It never got successfully rated. Wait, this is just the shandy row. Once I go, so I'll go in here, and once I get the outside done, there'll be a wall right here, and then a break, and then another wall, and then a break, and then another wall. And it's gonna be all the way to about, I'll probably have my base area somewhere back here. This is where the actual base will be. But all through here is gonna be pod traps and turrets. Yeah. I'm playing on rags right now. And the inner core of the turrets are made so if you knock out the structures, this is what will happen on the inner core. They'll be floating. Aha! Wow. If you have Xbox, you can, and you want to come join my server, you can. Dude, you have Xbox? You should come on my server and play with me sometime if you have Xbox. I'll hook you up. I'll hook anybody up. Aaron, if you come over. I just like having... My maps are a little hard, though. Like, there's Reapers in Viking Bay, Reaper Queens or whatever. So they're a little hard for... I've been told they're a little tough for some people's playing level. But that's like Ragnarok. The other maps are a little bit easier. Isn't this cool though on the inside? Look at this. Those pretty ass fucking things. Protecting the core. And on the inside, it looks kind of cool too. Did you know this, wolves? So the pods are down, and if you overlap your pods like this, it works better if you have moon pods in a situation like this, or moon pools. But there's oxygen here, and if I had like a ceiling right there, I could walk on it. Magic. So you can make little air pockets, like little land air pockets, like anywhere. If you just overlap them like this, and then you figure out where the glitched layer is. It's usually the middle layer, And if you do like 10 layers, you can usually get about 3 to 5 layers worth of build room. And then you just magically go back out. Ah, see? Ah! I feel that G. Whoa, kitty. Oh. My cat, he obviously wanted to join. This cat is my best friend. So this cat, I actually was a stray cat. In Alaska, they call them barn cats. So he was just like a stray cat that like lived in the Alaska wild, basically. And I was working on this building on the property we lived on, and he like lived under the building, I guess, and lived there for a long time. And you know, while I was working, you know, him and I started hanging out and whatever. And then that winter, he like came over to our cabin, and he started, you know, talking to me, and we started hanging out, and I invited him in, and then he became my best friend.
I wanna wake up in the morning with someone new. I wanna do
There is. It's under. Let me check. I think the server highlights kind of. Well, let me see something. Where? I just made one called Build Spotlight. Done. I just had a group. Was that a post from you?
my dog go. She's down there whining.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not. Which I just fucking.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a thing that's fun that now.
1 second. Maybe I just did it. Two more in a row. Sweet, I'll check them out in a second.
her body, yo. Show up everywhere that I be, yo. All you wanna do is party, yo. I know. You are the type that they want me about, when I'm with you, all the wrong feels alright, She the real thing, but she cold-hearted like Greenland. Church girl moving like a queen band. Hey, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing, She said, let me know when you're ready for me, ready for me, ready for me. She said, let me know when you're ready for me, ready for me, ready for me, yeah. Yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing, hey, fashionably late on purpose, all eyes on you. Wind up on the place, not all of the guys want you. Shut it down, knows how to move it and checking what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do. We making a movie, the things you and I go through. Every time we link up, it's a roller coaster when we make love. Sometimes I don't really know where I have you. Feels like someday you could flip us. She the real thing, but she cold-hearted like Greenland. Church girl moving like a queen pen. Hey, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing,
back, don't wanna forget ya. Yeah, I wanna do it all again. So I keep pushing rewind. Hoping you'll still by my side. We can't get lost in time. Oh, don't you wanna do it all again? Stuck on repeat in my mind. Dancing with you by my side. We can't get lost in time. Yeah, I wanna do it all again. We were on top of the world. Had time that we wasted. We were young and so dumb. I knew that you were the one. Played our songs all the time. Can we stay here tonight? 'Cause I don't wanna go. I know the tension's gone now, and that you won't come back. Keep looking back, don't wanna forget ya. Yeah, I wanna do it all again. So I keep pushing rewind. Hoping you'll still by my side. We can't get lost in time. But don't you wanna do it all again? Stuck on repeat in my mind. Dancing with you by my side. We can't get lost in time. Yeah, I wanna do it all again. You know that I don't wanna feel this way again. So let's pick up the pieces that we left unsaid. I know the tension's gone now, and that you won't stay here. Keep looking back, don't wanna forget ya. Yeah, I wanna do it all again. So I keep pushing rewind. Hoping you're still by my side. We can't get lost in time. But don't you wanna do it all again? Stuck on repeat in my mind. Dancing with you by my side. We can't get lost in time. Yeah, I wanna do it all again.
Yeah, I'll be honest. 요즘 생각에만 나. It's dishonest. Say that I've been feeling alive 난 아니야. Staying up and out of the chance. 네가 필요 없다고 귀찮이난 거짓말. I'm sprung. Running through my head. 네 옆에 말해줘. 시간 없다고 hold 때가 가라고. You ain't even gotta tell me twice. So you fancy. Money how you in my life. 그래 이젠 궁금하지 않아 우리 미래. Think about her strip down on the east side. Driving on the wrong side down on the freeway. Frequent trips and frequently 기대. 우리 컸던 더 힘이 들던. Think about our problems all 점점 커져. 친구 사이로 I know I told you we could be there. 1, 2, I ain't never offended if you left like that. 있으면 우리 싸울 텐데. Staying up at night 있어 보이기 해. I don't really miss you. Talking like we're friends, oh 지난 척해. Like a game. But you not even play. 연락하지 마, 이름 보지 않게. I don't really need you. All I need is you. Yeah. All I need is you. All I need is you. Yeah, like all I need is you. Baby, we can rendezvous. Baby, all I need is you. Like all I need is you. Baby, all I need is you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be honest, taking on, hemming on, running wall, hopping on, think about you. 시간 지나도 바뀌는 건 없고 all the time wondering if what you said is even true. 하기 중요하다고 이해한다고 I think I should have said no. Said I understood 미안하지만 친구 사이로 사이좋게 하자고 맘만 좋은 거라고. Sorry if I let you on. Yeah. Switch up. I see you rocking new hair, well, let's make up. 보기 좋으지 머릿속에 take up. 생각만 해도 could break up. 생각만 해도 I wake up. 후회하진 않아. 가끔씩 생각이 나. How you just cruising on by. I'm busy doing a lot. Getting you out of my mind. Getting you. I ain't even telling that you left like that. 있으면 우리 싸울 텐데. Staying up at night is a 보이기. I don't really miss you. Talking like we're friends, oh 지난 척해. Like a game, would you not even play? 연락하지 마, 이름 보지 않게. I don't really need you. All I need is you. Yeah, all I need is you. All I need is you. Yeah, like all I need is you. Baby, we can rendezvous. Baby, all I need is you. Like all I need is you. Baby, all I need is you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to take a break, guys.